YouTube viewers, Rectangular back, this time with another haul video. Before I get into the haul, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers and to all of my friends who promote the channel and leave comments. It means a lot, and big thanks to all my regular viewers and all the people who've been watching my channel since day one. I recently just hit over 2,500 subscribers, so I'm getting that much closer to 3,000 subscribers, and that's pretty damn exciting. I've been doing this for about 4.5 years now, and it's very cool. I'm really glad that people seem to like the content that I put out, and hopefully the channel will just continue to grow. So this past weekend I was down in Southern California for a wedding and was able to sneak away to meet up with my friend Michael Wisman, who lives down there, and then Punker Mike was able to drive out, and we all crashed at Michael's house and had a really good time. Those guys are making me laugh so hard I was damn near crying. And then the next day H.A.T.E came over, and we all had a good time hanging out. And definitely check out H.A.T.E's podcast. It is called They're Not Dolls. And of course I have my own podcast with Punker Mike and Michael Wisman and Diego, aka the DMC, called the Triple C podcast, which we put out every other Friday. And yeah, hopefully you guys will check that out and spread the word. While I was down in Michael Wisman's neighborhood, I stopped at a local shop called Bunky Brothers, and they have a lot of old retro toys in there. Very little new stuff. They did have some newer Build-A-Figure parts, but for the most part it was a lot of retro stuff. And I picked up these loose figures, which were actually in the package, but I took them out of the package to show the guys at Michael's house. So on the far left, Tanis Spijek or Tanis Spijek, not exactly sure how you pronounce that, but yeah, he's pretty interesting looking alien character. He apparently was on Jabba's sail barge, but yeah, I think he only appears on screen for a couple seconds. And yeah, I got both of these, him and the other guy on the far right. That one is, God, I can't remember, something Williams. He is from Final Fantasy. And basically I just picked up both of these to use as fodder background characters in different sci-fi displays. And the accessories are pretty decent for the Final Fantasy guy on the right. This little knife comes out of his shoulder holster there, or sheath, which is kind of cool. You know, there's no paint on it. It's just like silver plastic, but it does have some pretty cool helmets that you can probably use on other figures as well. And the articulation is fair. These figures this line of figures came out in 2000, so for the time they're pretty damn good. These were made by Bandai. Only thing that's really odd is that the legs are on separate. They're separate from the upper part of the legs, but there's no rotation. They I guess just glued them in, so that's disappointing. It's interesting why they didn't just have them plug in and then have a rotation there, but whatever. You know, it's not like I'm gonna be able to do a whole lot with them anyway. He's just going to pretty much sit in the background. And then to go with the other Star Wars guy here, we have H.A.T.E, I think is how you pronounce that. I don't know. Another guy from Jabba's sail barge, and I got that one from eBay. No, I'm sorry, Amazon. And I want to say it was 16 shipped, so a lot more than I wanted to spend. But basically, when I picked up this guy and he was in the package was kind of falling apart. But I got both of these guys that are now loose for $8 each. And then when I saw the packaging and saw the other, I saw this guy on the back. I was like, oh, he would work out well. They're very similar bodies. I think just the torso and the head are different, but I think the rest of the figures are the same. The feet, hands and feet definitely look the same, and yeah, I don't know if I'll end up repainting them or just keeping them the way they are. This guy has a tail. Oh, I guess I can turn him around. It's kind of funny. It looks like almost like a skunk, more like a badger. But yeah, they're pretty cool figures, and I think they'll work well as smaller alien characters. And with that, let's move on to the next set of items. Next, we have a couple packaged figures that I picked up while out toy hunting. On the left, we have the Pizza Spider-Man, or Pizza Parker as I like to call him. When I was down visiting the guys in Southern California, I hit up a couple of the Walgreens down there and was lucky enough to find this guy. He was the only Marvel Legend in the store except for the Ant-Man, Walgreens exclusive Ant-Man. So very lucky to find him, and I'm just using him for trade bait. I know a lot of people are still looking for this figure, and I want to trade him for the Marvel Legends Black Panther that's coming out in the Civil War wave. So if you find that figure and you want to trade for this one, please let me know. And then on the right we have the Master Chief with cloak, which I found at my local Ross store for $6. So with tax, he was like $6.50. So very good deal. I think the cheapest price he went for on eBay was like $8 shipped, and most of them were loose. And in fact, just the cloak is going for like between $6 and $8. So pretty damn good deal. I can definitely use the gun that he comes with, and definitely use the cloak. And I'm sure I could do a kit bash, or just have him as a generic sci-fi armor guy in the background of a shot. Might even repaint him, but yeah, not too shabby. I'm not a big Halo fan or anything. I just thought I definitely can use the cloak for a setup I have in mind, so that'll be cool. And then at my work, I found this little puppy dog. Pretty cute. He's not articulated or anything, but yeah, totally random pup that is in perfect skill with Legends. I work for a car dealership, and he was just sitting in a used car that the company brought in. So yeah, somebody left him behind, and now he's mine. So very cool. And with that, let's move on to the next set of items. Finally this week we have some packaged Marvel Legends from the Captain America Civil War wave. We have Black Panther and Nick Fury. So very excited to get these. I'm a huge fan of Black Panther, this Nick Fury is pretty damn cool. I have the old 2-pack version from Hasbro, and I also have the original, what is it called, Toy Biz version, and this one is probably the best version that I've seen. But yeah, I really like the option of having the alternate head and the helmeted head for the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. So very cool. I already have, like I said, I think I have 2 females from the 2-packs and 4 of the males from the 2-packs from Hasbro. So I wasn't looking to make a huge army of these guys, but I definitely wanted at least 3 Black Panthers for still motion photography shots, ACBA shots. So I'm still looking for 2 more Black Panthers, 1 to keep in the package and 1 more to do still motion with. So I want one loose is fine. So if you happen to come upon an extra one, yeah, please let me know. And yeah, I haven't taken Black Panther out of the package, but I did get a loose Nick Fury from a guy on Facebook. So I'm going to yeah, open up this Nick Fury here and open up one of these Black Panthers, and let's take a closer look at him. Here we've got the figures out of the packages, and I can say I'm extremely happy, very impressed. The Nick Fury / S.H.I.E.L.D. agent body is great, but the only complaint is the holster, or yeah, the holster that's, or / harness that's on his chest. The one on the right fits really well. The one on the left, the strap rides up into his shoulder socket, so worried about it. Well, number one, it kind of, you know, hinders the articulation a little bit from his arm being able to come further down, and then you know, because you have to move it a lot, I'm worried about it eventually wearing out and tearing. So would have liked the strap, that lower strap, to have been sculpted lower so it wouldn't ride up into his shoulder socket, or on the back if they had just molded this down just a little bit. You know, it's going to come into the ab articulation just a hair, but you know, for that I think you're going to be it'd be easier just to move that out of the way. You know, how often are you going to be moving that ab crunch real extreme in either direction? So would have liked that, but otherwise did a really good job on the paint. The Nick Fury head, the paint is off on the hairline, but otherwise for the most part the eye patch and his eye and the facial hair is painted well. You know, it's just a little off center. I think the other one I have, it's a little bit worse, where the hair is you can see the kind of the flesh tone there in the hairline, both on the tips and at the widow's peak there. So not, you know, we always have minor imperfection, especially with paint on Legends, but yeah, the Dirk Anger head turned out really well. I think both of mine look really good. I really love that translucent green plastic for the lens. That was a really nice move on Hasbro's part. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agent helmet, for the most part, looks really good. I think there's could use a little bit more silver there on the filters of the mask, but otherwise pretty happy with those. And yeah, the Bucky cap mold, it has been modified a little bit, because I don't remember the joints being so ratcheted, but they're definitely more ratcheted, especially in the shoulders. There seems to be more gap in the torso ab crunch area as well. I noticed that on both of these the gap seems to be a little bit wider, but yeah, the only thing that would really make this figure pop a little bit more is maybe some blue wash in the boots and the maybe the gloves, but I think they did a pretty good job on the belts. And now for the cream of the crop is Black Panther. I'm a huge Black Panther fan and was really looking forward to this figure. So far, I'm extremely happy with the way this guy turned out. You can see this because of the really nice ab crunch he has. You can get him in a really nice running pose, and look how balanced he is. That's just fantastic. You know, I know a lot of people complain that that ab crunch is a little bit too extreme, but you know, with the right angle, it doesn't look bad. At least to me. I mean, these are action figures. It's not a perfect representation of a human body. It's just never going to happen. But yeah, I was going to purchase the S.H. Figure Arts version, but definitely after getting this guy and seeing him in person, it's not worth the $80 with shipping from Japan to get that figure, which is going to end up being at least a half-inch shorter than this one. And I'm not convinced that the range of motion in the head is going to be any better. You do get one pair of alternate hands, which is nice, but it's definitely not worth the price tag as far as I'm concerned. You can do heat and pop and put on different hands on this figure without too much hassle. And the paint turned out really well. For the most part, the lines on the mask turned out great. The necklace definitely could use some touch up. God, just look at that leaping, that range of motion is just fantastic. You know, a lot of very dynamic characters that are acrobatic cannot look up, and that they pulled it off so well on this figure. All the sculpt. The only real major issue I have is the shoulder socket is super stiff on this right shoulder. It feels like I'm going to break him. Also, there's a little bit extra plastic, so he can't quite get his arm closer to his body. I think the arm is a little bit warped in the package as well, so I'll have to kind of heat that up and see if I can bend it a little bit closer. This one comes in a little bit more, but yeah, it's about the only complaint is he can't get his arms closer to his body when they're relaxed. But otherwise, man, it's really well constructed. The joints are nice and tight, and the sculpt is amazing. I haven't been this impressed with a Marvel Legend. You know, there's not a whole lot of places to screw up since he's just black plastic with a little bit of silver detail. But, you know, the paint overall, they pulled it off. Man, his joints are nice and tight. Just loving the way that this guy turned out. And the alternate head, oops, there goes S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. The alternate head turned out really nice. The only paint issue, the other one that's still in the package, the hairline is, God, he's just not going to stand up. The hairline is a little bit off on the other one, and it's not going to show up that well on camera here, but on the other one, the hair is just a little bit off. It's missing some black paint, which I can touch up, so not a huge deal, but they did do a good job on the eyes. And the flesh tone is consistent throughout because it's all molded in that plastic. So very cool. Since I am going to get multiples of these, I'll probably try to add maybe some paint to make him not quite so shiny, since he's, you know, just that plastic. There's no paint for his flesh tone. Just to kind of dull it down a little bit so he's not quite so sweaty looking. But yeah, very happy with him. I have all the versions of Black Panther. The Hasbro one, it's supposed to be the classic one from the, let's see, was it the Rocket Raccoon or Hit Monkey? I think it was the Rocket Raccoon wave. And that's a very good figure. I have a couple of those, and then I have, I think, 3 of the old Toy Biz ones. So I'm going to do some messing around and see, you know, having Wakanda guards
and see what kind of incarnation I want to have. Probably want this one for T'Challa. It's just such a cool figure. I'm not too giddy about getting new legends as of late, and this one really has brought my enthusiasm for the line back to life. So hopefully you guys can find him. He's going to be pretty sought after. I haven't seen case assortment revision coming up. Hopefully he will be in a revision case where these two will be two per case instead of the Iron Man and Captain America. That would be ideal. Hasbro really needs to start focusing on the more sought after figures and stop giving us the same A-list characters over and over as the two per case. So anyway, with that, hopefully you guys like the video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I always love hearing back from you guys, so please leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.